Adepu, Namaste, Harun Nefer. This is Gasark Keparu with another video for you. In this video, I want to talk about the template reality and how to use it. But before I do that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. Also, if you're interested in knowing more about the esoteric and my spiritual teachings, click on the links below. You can download a free ebook and start reading right away. Also, if you're not already a supporter of ours on Patreon, you can consider doing so. As a supporter, you'll get free access to exclusive content, instructional videos on how to invoke spirits for your protection, how to manifest money, how to work with the oracles. In fact, you get your oracle readings for free, and how to astral project, which I will talk about today. All right. So you can become, again, a Patreon supporter for as $1, $5, $20 a month, and you can cancel anytime. There is no obligation. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends so we can get the revolution started. All right. So let's talk about some things that are very, very interesting. All right. Now, there is a term called the template reality that's being used in the conspiracy theory arena, the New Age arena. And what I'm going to impart to you today may be a different definition of that, but still goes along with the basis idea and principle. And this comes about because people, especially a lot of scientists, notice that there's a duplication in life. So what do I mean by duplication? They were seeing things in nature over and over and over again, such as fractals self-replicating organisms. They would see fractals in African societies, fractals in patterns in flowers, fractals in the water. And they had come to the conclusion that this is just part of how the universe first formed, and these fractals are embedded in all of these natural phenomena. But there's something that we call the template reality, and this template reality is kind of like a resource of, what is the best way to put this? It is a resource of reality itself, are parts of reality that are used to manifest things. So the best example of this is, let's say one template may be the structure of a cloud nebulae in outer space. When you look at that, you will see it's beautiful, it has colors, it has stars. But you also notice that if you look on the microscopic level and you look in our cells, that they look very similar to that nebulae. That is because it's pulling to manifest or create that reality of a nebulae in outer space. It is pulling from the template reality. And it thus duplicates itself because wherever you look, whatever belief system you hold, reality responds. Taking a step back so that we're all on the same page. Reality does not exist apart from the observer. You are the observer. Whatever belief system that you hold, reality is like a mirror. It creates a situation and scenario based on your belief system. And in order to do that, one of the things that it does is it pulls from the template reality. Now, I was doing some work with the other day regarding a particular business associate that I wanted to contact. So I said, I'm going to do a ritual to get access to this person because this person's very high on the corporate ladder, or his title, his position is very high. So I said, I need to get in contact with this individual because I want to talk about working a deal. And I had noticed that this person's title was very unusual. I just kept saying, what a very interesting title. I'm not going to get into what the title said. So doing my rituals and everything, I was lying in bed the other day, and I was listening to a program on the coronavirus. And suddenly the announcer said, oh, there is this person who knows about the coronavirus who has this title. And when I heard that title, I kind of stood up. And the company's name was even similar as well. And I was just floored by that. And that is an example of synchronicity. That's reality pinging you, let you know that you're going in the right direction to shift to that reality of the thing that you want. I mean, I literally was floored. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because you have to understand about the shifting through parallel realities and manifesting your own reality within this space-time continuum. The fact is, you're not going to, and I've tried to explain this to a number of people, you're not going to a totally different Earth. It doesn't work that way. It's compartmentalized. So there are elements that are changing on you, depending on your belief system. They're shifting, they're moving out, some are being replaced by other things to align with your belief system, to create the reality. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. The puzzles are being put in place in real time. And you are creating the final picture in that puzzle. So I understood that when in the video, when they said that title in that company, that this was a slice from the reality that I'm going to, my destination reality. And it was a synchronistic sign that, hey, you're going in the right direction. Now, let me pull up something that best illustrates the point about the template reality. Let me see if it comes up. I was having some trouble earlier, and let's give it a moment. You will see what I call this duplication of reality in nature all the time. In fact, when there's a solar eclipse, the moon goes over the sun, it looks like an iris. And it's very interesting. And mathematically, the probability of something like that happening naturally is very, very remote. So we know that these things happen in accordance with our belief system. How does an eclipse mirror the look of a human eye, an iris? That's very unusual. That's not something you can easily explain unless you understand that there's a thing called the template reality, where oh, here it goes. Let me pull this up for you. So this gives you a great idea of what I'm talking about. Ta-da! This is right. Okay. Now, take a look at this. We have here the solar system, and it says, have you ever wondered that maybe the solar system which we live in could be just another massive atom? Okay, that's a whole nother argument. But the point I'm trying to get to you is that if you notice how the spiral look of our solar system mirrors that of an atom, this is very, very peculiar. I mean, you got to stop and start asking yourself, all right, what is going on here? When you look at things like synchronicity, when you look at things like this mirroring of this template reality, you've got to start to realize that you're in a construct, a matrix that is not real at all. It is a holographic universe. It is a matrix. However you want to define it or call it, you must understand that it is merely a projection of your thoughts and beliefs. But the template reality itself is a combination of what we call the mass consensus agreement, meaning we all get together and we determine what the template reality will be, what it will consist of. And as I said before, moving into this discussion, that reality doesn't exist apart from the observer. Many people in life try to find the truth. And I said, that's a very tricky thing. Is the earth flat or is it round? I said, well, that's a very tricky thing you're getting into right now. How many people believe it's flat will more than likely make it so? What do I mean by that? If you have archaeologists or Egyptologists and they go to Egypt and they start digging and they say to themselves, we suspect that ancient Egypt had batteries. If they believe that, and if they dig far enough, they're going to find evidence of batteries because reality responds to the observer. They're going to find whatever they hold dearest in their heart and mind. And the way you manipulate the matrix is through emotions, because you're looking at the matrix is, in one sense, waves, energy waves. And when you are changing your emotions, you are then asking the matrix to manifest something based on those emotions. So if emotionally you're tied to an outcome, say, I believe that ancient Egypt, they had planes, and I'm digging as an archaeologist in the hot sun in the desert, I'm going to find a plane. I'm going to find evidence of that because reality is going to conform with the observer, me. It's going to mirror my belief systems. That's why it's very tricky when you start to get to saying, well, this is the truth or that's the truth. You're dealing with a complex system, a neural network system that is going to trick you, that is going to fool you into believing whatever it is you believe. You understand? In other words, what I'm saying is this. If you believe wholeheartedly that there is Jesus, then it will manifest an image of Jesus for you, where you could probably even talk to it. That's how powerful you are as a magician, but you're tricked into thinking that the power is an objective thing that's outside of you. And it's not. It's within you. You see, you're existing within this matrix, this construct, this hologram, and what generates it and keeps it going is consciousness. And whose consciousness? Your consciousness. And that consciousness is comprised of energy waves. And those energy waves are emotional outputs. Your emotions determine your good luck, your bad luck, whether you get married, whether you be rich, whether you be poor. All of those things are belief systems that translate into an emotional output. And because you're a reality generating machine, you don't realize that you are manifesting this reality. You are. It's a very subconscious process. It's automatic. And this consciousness that is manifesting your reality so that you can have an experience has a personality to it because it's actually you. So there is a certain type of personality to it. If you believe that you're a person that always experiences bad luck, then that consciousness believes it has only bad luck. And therefore it manifests experiences to validate that you only have bad luck. If you were to go about your life taking in a new belief system that every day I am fortunate, every day things go my way, then that consciousness itself will take on that belief system and you will find life aligning to bring you good fortune. But remember, what it's pulling out to manifest for you is based on the template reality. And that template reality is kind of limited. It only has certain things in there that it can pull from to manifest, which is why you see a duplication, which is why you see a solar system that looks like an atom. Okay, so I think I may not pace him. And this goes on and on and on. Like I said before, the example of the eclipse, the iris, the moon over the sun looks like an iris. We have, when you look at the nerves in the brain, they look like a solar cluster of stars. And just Google this online and you'll be able to see it yourself. You'll be able to see numerous examples to where this can't be a coincidence. There's something going on. And what's going on is that you are living in a construct, an artificial experience. And you're going to have to deal and contend with that if you want to be successful in life. And the way that you're going to be successful in life is not by saying affirmations. No, because that could be a very cold way of doing it. It's or having a true change of heart. This is why in ancient Kemet, the ebb, ma'at, the heart was of so much importance, because the heart, when you take something to heart, you commit it to yourself. If I believe something wholeheartedly, then the matrix will manifest it for me. Good or bad, doesn't matter. It's going to manifest it. It's not going to discern, oh, this is bad, so let me not manifest that. No, it's going to say, this is a strong belief system that he has or she has. I am going to manifest this. And then you're going to foolishly believe that you're having an objective experience. No, you're having a subjective experience. You're going to foolishly believe you're having a objective experience, and then you're going to say, "Why me? Why me? Why does life treat me so bad?" No, why do you treat yourself so bad? Ask that question. Why does your consciousness not like you? To where it's manufacturing these scenarios to bring you what you perceive as bad luck, and it's not. And you can at any point in time change that scenario. You can flip that script. All you have to do is purge yourself of your old belief system and start adapting a new belief systems, but it has to be to the core of your being that you believe it. It can't be a superficial belief. The universe doesn't respond to superficiality. So I want you to understand that. So this template reality is what we, consciousness, draws from to create the environment that we see before us. It creates the mailbox, the buildings, the skies, the streets, the trains, the planes. It creates all of this from the template reality. Is it no wonder why we're beginning to understand? And here's the paradox. We're beginning to understand that our consciousness, who we are as the observer, the all-seeing eye, when we look at reality, which is nothing but waves or code, it collapses to a singularity, one of an infinite number of realities, and it builds that reality in an instant. As we turn left, we turn right, it's constructing a reality right before our eyes so quickly that we can't see it being constructed. Is there any wonder why we're getting to the level of where we're creating computers that can do the same thing, build virtual realities? You see, again, we're seeing how the template reality works. Our computers now are creating avatars, characters that within their own world, their reality is generated and built. So that when you take the joystick and turn left and turn right, the computer constructs scenery for the character to interact with. And that's exactly what's going on here. And again, this is another part of the template reality, which is, again, pulling from a warehouse or storehouse to bring us an environment, an understanding of our world. So I hope that makes sense to you. And it also explains why I want people to know is that why when they say, well, Jesus or Muhammad or Allah healed me and I felt it, I saw him, I saw her, saw Mary. Well, I believe you did, because the matrix is going to create an image for you. It will do that. If you believe in aliens and you believe wholeheartedly and you dwell on that 24/7, I guarantee you're going to be abducted. That's how it works. If all you think about night and day is money, 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 I guarantee you're going to start attracting money. You're going to manifest that in your life. The other thing you need to keep in mind, though, is that you are not confined to this one reality. Although the template reality exists in this space-time continuum, there's other realities that don't pull from that same warehouse or storehouse, that same template of reality. It pulls from something totally alien and totally different. And this is something I was telling people in my program, the reality manifestation program, which you all should get involved in. It's excellent. And one of the things I was saying was I did a session of astral projection where I projected my consciousness to a different world. When I got to the world, it was so alien to me, so far removed from what I was used to. I was so uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I immediately wanted to leave. It unsettled me until I saw a being there. And I went to the being, or I think the being approached me actually. And we had a conversation. I don't remember all the conversation, but this I do remember. And it's very important for you to understand this. I told the being, I'm leaving. And he was like, why? And I said, well, this is just too strange or alien for me to handle right now. It's a little bit too much for me. And then the being laughed at me. And I was like, well, what's so funny? And he said, you've been here many, many times. And I was like, no way. This is from what I understand my first time here to this freaky universe you got going on here. And he just laughed and says, no, you've been here many, many times. So what does that tell us? It's actually very beautiful in a way. I should publish that in a book. It tells us that what you think is you is not really you. That's one thing. The other thing is it tells you right away that you're a multidimensional being, that you, as you sit here, are having an infinite number of experiences. And when we talk about different parallel worlds, I am talking about the strange, the vast, the unusual worlds that are out there, you are experiencing them right now. You are going through things in those other universes right now. You don't feel it, you're not aware of it because your perspective is here. But you can shift your perspective to that reality and experience that really strange universe. Let me say it again. You don't understand the type of being you are. You don't understand what's going on in this world. You have no freaking clue. Because you have been given so many lies about the nature of your being and the nature of reality, and you've accepted it to where you have created a matrix, a holographic experience, one of supreme limitation. You have placed limitation upon limitation upon limitation. You don't know the real you. You have not experienced the real you. When you astral project, then you experience the real you because you shed the physical being. You shed the race, the gender, and you are consciousness. And I'm telling you that when I was interacting with those beings, I could perceive instantaneously through my interaction that it was them speaking to the core of my being, which was consciousness, and they weren't perceiving me as a race, a gender, a person, or anything. And it's a beautiful, authentic interaction because there's no judgment. They're not looking at you and casting a judgment because they cannot, because you're a consciousness. But what I'm saying to you is this: you are so powerful and so vast in your being that you are having a multitude of experiences in the most strangest worlds there are. You have friends in parallel worlds that you don't even realize. And me and this being, when I was conversing with him, we were friends. I didn't know that. As far as I was concerned, that was the first time I was there. But no, you're here, you're there, and you're everywhere. You have no beginning, you have no middle, and you'll have no end. You are all things. And this is the lie they keep telling you is you are a limited being, you're a sinner, you're the physical body, your gender, your race. This is the lie they keep pounding in your head, and you manifest that reality and have that experience. But it's okay because you are having an experience of limitation. Now start to have an experience of no limitations. And I guarantee you, when you do that, you're going to look back on this existence with disgust, hatred for what the ruling elite have done to you. You are not one person. You do not exist purely in time-space continuum. You are infinite, having an infinite number of lives and experiences instantaneously. And at any one time, you can shift your perspective to see those other lives and other people, and other friends and other family that you have in those different dimensions. You got backup and you didn't even know it. Let me just address this really quick. Even though we have a belief system of certainty, there are days where things get hard, really hard. Would you say just black everything negative out, no matter how painful it is? Well, you do understand that you are labeling and defining things and therefore reinforcing the experience that you're having. So when you're saying things like painful, negative, you're manifesting those things and reinforcing those things. So that's what we have to start with, that right there. You cannot use those terms. All right, you must understand that. You're calling forth a reality, and that reality is based on the one that they've given you, where you believe that there's pain, where you believe that there's negativity. Remember, Tahuti says nothing has a quality in and of itself. So you must start from that point on, because going dark does not work if you're still holding labels and definitions. This is why you should never look at life and say, this is a good thing. Oh, this is a bad thing. Because the minute you state one thing, it calls into being its so-called opposite. If I say this is a good day, then I'm manifesting a bad day somewhere soon. So I must be centered and realize that there's really no good, bad day, good luck, bad luck. I must be centered to know I don't have any enemies, because there's only one consciousness, and consciousness cannot oppose itself. So you don't have any enemies. This is why you have to be very careful. We're talking about a higher spiritual understanding of things. And in order for you to have a good experience while you're here, you must get rid of those definitions, those labels, because they're always going to call into being those realities that you don't want to experience. You cannot manifest something you don't have a definition of. So when you stop labeling, defining things, then you stop manifesting what you call negative things. Okay? So we start with that. Good question, though. Very good question. Says tough as well. Just saying, all the meditation, visualization, it gets hard. Life sometimes just hits hard, and if it's your close environment, yeah, you're going to get. Listen. I've always told you this, right? You fall. What you do is you fall victim to a false ideology. See, you think that because so and so's a minister, so and so's leading a spiritual life, they're not going to get their ass kicked. No. God's no respecter of person. I don't care how much you meditate, how good you are, how holy you are. That's not going to stop your destiny from kicking your ass. Your destiny is going to come for you. Things are going to come for you. I don't care who you are. So you're not going to get to a point where, oh, it's just all good, all perfect. No. And because you may be born to what we call a, quote, minority race, what that means is you have a target on your back. The society wants to get rid of you, to depopulate the planet, getting you phased out. Well, now you've got a particularly interesting situation there. But you've come into this existence as a minority, so-called minority, for the purposes of awakening the planet. That's why you are who you are. And you did agree to that, or else you wouldn't be here. You understand? See, you all right, let me address Harmony's question. Hey, Kasak, can you clarify something? If we exist everywhere at the same time, how do we have past lives? Aren't we just tapping into different consciousness? No, you're not tapping into different consciousness. Who told you that? See, you're doing the same thing. You guys do the same thing. You're using the wrong labels and definitions. You're saying past life. There is no past. We know there's only one thing. There's the now moment. There's no past and there's no future. What you perceive as the past and the future are merely different perspectives on the now moment. Now, when you're tapping into what you perceive as a past life, you're tapping into a life that's going on now. I just finished telling you that you're a multidimensional being. You're at all places at once having an experience at this particular moment right now. There is no past. There is no future. There's just a now moment. So what you're drawing from when you have those so-called past life experiences, you're just drawing from another life experience that's happening now. All right. So I hope that kind of clarifies it for you. So just keep that in mind. You just got to be careful about how you're using these terms, because then this young woman, she had a broadcast the other day, and it was on the esoteric, and I was watching it, and I kind of wanted to interject because what she was saying was right, but she kept using the wrong terms, which could lead you to the wrong conclusion. You know what I mean? But she was good-hearted in what she was saying, though. So that was, So yeah, I want you to understand. You have to be careful when you talk about past lives. There is no past life. There's only the now moment. And Harmony, I need you to understand something. I need you to understand something very clearly. I want you to follow me. When you understand this, because I have to say this a million times, because people don't pick up and they don't understand, even though I've written a small pamphlet about this to really dive into the subject matter. When you understand there's no past and there's no future, there's only the present moment, you have unlocked the secret of how the ruling elite captured the planet. That one bit of information is how they were able to erase the memory of the masses of people of this planet so that we have amnesia regarding our history. That one bit of information allowed them to enact slavery, to allow them to enact white supremacy. The idea that they knew, because they're black magicians, they're the highest sorcerers, they knew that there's no past and there's no future. They knew that there's only the now moment. And they knew that if they plug into your psyche, they hack your psyche and feed you, because you're living in a hypnosis state. You're in a hypnosis state, experiencing one of an infinite number of realities. If they hack into your psyche and put in a post-hypnotic suggestion about your so-called past, you will believe that you had a past in accordance with what they implanted in you. And that's what is exactly happening. Okay? So I want you to think about that. With that one bit of knowledge, they were able to do so much damage. And I've said this over and over again, and I think people really pick up on how powerful that understanding is. That our history, our very memories may not be correct. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're not correct. They have been wiped. They have been manipulated. And you have to start asking yourself questions. Did slavery really happen? Did World War I, World War II really happen? Or are those just an implant? Because there's one thing we know for sure, that the civilizations of antiquity were not primitive. They were very advanced. So we know that whole idea of the primitive is an implant. It's a lie. We know that looking back in history, that civilizations were of high morality and high tech. But you don't know that because your memory has been wiped and you have been implanted with this idea, follow me here, of linear space-time. Now, when I say linear, you're thinking, oh, we start out very primitive caveman time, we work our way to the advance of the advances that we have now of 2020. No, time does not move in a linear fashion like that. You don't start out primitive and then get through evolution, which is wrong, advanced to get to 2020 where we have computers and space shuttles. That's not how it works. And I can't go into it right now. If anything, it's due to cycles. We deal with cycles. It's cyclical. So this whole idea of linear, things progressing in the beginning, middle, and end is a totally erroneous, false concept that they have made us buy into. And even now, you have scientists who have been publishing papers now to admit the truth that the idea of linear space-time may not be correct. and it's not correct. All right? If I take any one of you and I put you into a hypnosis state and I feed you a post-hypnotic suggestion that you are, or in your past, were a millionaire, you would come out of that state believing you were a millionaire. Not only would you come out of that state believing wholeheartedly that you are a millionaire, your subconscious mind is going to look for evidence of that in the here and now. And when it doesn't see evidence of that in the here and now, it's going to look for the most powerful belief system. And if I was successful in implanting the idea that you were a millionaire in the past, then your subconscious mind or your spirit is now going to work to manifest millions of dollars in the present. So just take away from that, your past is easily manipulated by hacking into your psyche. And that's what they've done to the masses of people on the planet. All right. So that's pretty much what I wanted to go over with you guys about the template reality. You guys had some excellent questions, by the way. Those are really good questions. Please, if you get an opportunity, donate to the channel. Your donations would really be appreciated. If you get an opportunity and you want to work on manipulating reality, take your knowledge of the esoteric to the next level, join my reality manifestation program. The link is in the description box below. And we're doing some really cutting edge stuff with that program where we're really diving deep into various different ways to manipulate reality and call forth the world that you want. You see, when you find yourself that life is kicking your ass, that's a clue that tells you you've been operating on the wrong belief systems. Because life is not kicking your ass. Your consciousness is manifesting things to kick your ass, to wake you up and say you may have the incorrect belief systems. And this is where you need to start doing what we call world building. And what that means is start visualizing the world that you really want to live in. Because it does exist out there among an infinite number of realities. So Harmony, you start to, or whoever had that question, sorry, about life kicking your ass, start visualizing consistently about the world you want. Give it detail, embed it with emotions, feel it every day. And you're going to see, like I did with the that internet program and the guy saying that thing, you're going to start getting synchronistic experiences to tell you you're on the right track. And when those synchronicities pop up, you're going to start to see differences in your reality, changes, and it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. You know, the thing is, you see, what's trapped us right now, confined us, limited us, it's just all we've bought into their ideology. That's all it is. We've bought into their garbage. If we would just purge, I'm talking collectively, if we would just purge ourselves of that old belief system and adopt a new belief system, first and foremost, that you are a god or a goddess, you must first accept that. The next one is what? Nothing is real, everything is an illusion. It's Maya. Those are two prerequisites. You must believe you're a god, and you must believe wholeheartedly that this reality is an illusion. And from there, you become Neo in the Matrix. You start to manipulate the Matrix to your liking. But if you can't get those two straight, it's going to be a rough battle uphill. But it's so doable, and it's not difficult at all. So hold on one second. Let me just answer this last question. I'm on the journey alone. Others close to me never understood. This is where the hardships came from. I can't just ignore everyone close to me. Yes, you can. In my class, reality manifestation, we have this saying. It's my reality and everyone else is just a guest. You see, they're avatars. You can get rid of them. They can suddenly leave your reality. And the great thing about that is you can bring new people into your reality. See, you're operating the best on a very low belief system, very low level thinking is what you're operating from. You got to elevate your thinking. You're talking about very low-level stuff. The people in your reality, they're your creation. If you don't want them here, you can tell them, hey, it's time to go. I'm shifting to a new reality, and you're not invited. And then you bring in new friends who align with your vibration. Simple as that. There's no reason to be isolated. No reason to be isolated. You can manifest a mate. I say it all the time to my girls. To get out of the pocket, I'm manifesting a new one. You know, manifest a new job, manifest a new boss. It's all doable. It's all doable. Stop accepting a limited belief system. You bought into the BS of this world. You are a God, and you're talking to me as if you're a squirrel. The best, do you understand? Squirrel here, the best here. You are up here. You are a God. The squirrel is here trying to get a nut. You are moving mountains, putting planets into new orbits, creating new dimensions. That's who you are. But you keep talking like, oh, this and that. Then change your reality. You created it. You can change it. You know what I mean? You created it. You can change it. I'm sitting there watching a movie with my mate, one of my mates, and she says something I don't like. I'm not worried because I know that the minute that I change my belief system, she will change. I can even say to myself, she'll apologize. I'll manifest it where she will apologize. And lo and behold, 4 hours later, she apologized. I never talked to her. I didn't ask for an apology. I just accepted the belief system that she will apologize. And she did. That's magic, man. That's magic. You don't have to talk to nobody. You don't have to communicate what you want. Oh, you hurt my person's feelings. You ain't got to say that. You are the auteur. You are the screenwriter of this movie. You can write whatever scene you want. So-and-so comes back to apologize. That's how simple it is. But you got to stay the course. You got to hold that one belief system. Visualize it for as long as it takes for it to manifest. Too many of us give up too quickly. Oh, I don't see it. It's only been 10 minutes. Yeah, but I thought I'll be manifesting. It's only been 10 minutes. And we give up so easy. So easy. Hold that. This is why one of the greatest deities in Kemet was who? Heru, Horus, the falcon, narrow in his focus, myopic, centered, dead set on going down toward its prey. That's why that deity is so important, because it's teaching you how to use your power, how to focus your will so that you don't see anything left and right. That's why they got those things on the horses in New York City. We used to see them all the time. When you ride the carriage, the horse has the blinders on, so it can't look over there, it can't look over there, you know. I went up to the horse and I said, hey, what's up? He goes, oh, sorry, man, I can't see you. Where you at? I said, oh, hey, what's up? I gave him a carrot. Horses love carrots. So anyway, but they stopped that in New York, I believe, because it was, well, maybe they haven't. Because the horses were dropping because of the heat. And that's really terrible that they put the horse under those conditions, you know? And the one I was talking with, his name was Mr. Ed. No relation to the TV Mr. Ed, you know. But I jest. So I want to thank you all for coming in, and I want to thank you guys for the chat. It was you really had some great questions today in the chat room. I love that. And again, donate to the channel when you get an opportunity. And remember, it's your reality, and everyone else is just a guest. If you want them to leave, they can. You can dismiss them that easily. You know. This is Kasank Ma Keperu, son of Ma'at and Tuti. Ma'at is the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until the next video, Amun Ra.